Hey, my name is Ben Crane. I'm a professional strength and conditioning coach as well as a certified personal trainer. And I was asked by Elite Sports to review the Warrior Series Duffel. So in this video, I'm going to give you my honest thoughts about using this as your gym bag, and we'll get into that right after this. Okay, so Elite Sports sent me this a few months ago. Now, I've had the pleasure of using this for probably a couple dozen trips to the gym, but even more so than that, we just got done going on a 6,000-mile family vacation, and I took this along with me to use to haul around basically everything from my clothes to my dirty laundry to whatever it was that I needed to carry two small children, a dog, my wife, and my things in and out of hotels, in and out of friends and family's places that we were visiting. So this has seen a lot more traffic than the average bag that's only been in someone's possession for a few months. So I've had a lot of experience with this. I am very pleased with it. I'll go ahead and get that out of the way. But I want to give some context as to what my experience and my preference is on bags, at least prior to using this particular gym bag. Now, I'm kind of a minimalist. If I am not carrying much, I don't want more bag than I need. So I do like to use sprinter style bags where I am just carrying around a few things and don't need a whole lot of space. Before this bag here was my gym bag on the regular, and I liked it because the frame keeps it fully expanded, which makes it easy to access and see into all the compartments. And that was great for a while, but I literally got that bag before I ever had children. Now every time I go to the gym, I am carrying a 2-year-old on one side and a 3-month-old in the other. So the less space my gym bag takes up when I am going in and out of the gym, the better. So I actually have come to prefer the collapsible soft-sided bag. So I no longer use this hard-sided bag as my daily gym use duffel or bag. I literally do now use this as my regular workout bag. So the initial impressions of this bag were that it's obviously very well constructed. It has a great aesthetic to it. It looks very nice. The thing that I noticed soon after was how buttery smooth the zippers are. If there's one thing I hate about a bag or even an article of clothing, it is a zipper that seems bumpy as you open and close it. The zippers on this bag are absolutely buttery smooth, even going around the turns where there's a corner or an edge to the bag or the pocket. The zippers are just extremely smooth. I absolutely love that. Now, I think this is also the first bag I've ever asked for. They gave me an option. They asked me what bag I would prefer to review, and I chose this bag thinking it was a little bit smaller than it seems like, because most bags, you look at them on the internet, you think they're going to be a certain size, and they arrive and you're like, that's not as big as I thought it was going to be. This bag was actually a little bigger than what I expected, and that's not a bad thing, especially because it's so soft. It easily collapses, so it doesn't take up a whole lot of space. It will very easily stuff into a gym locker, which can be very tight, and the bags like I showed you a minute ago do not do a good job of stuffing into lockers. So this is very nice for being able to go anywhere. Came in very handy on that 6,000-mile road trip. So on top of the zippers being great, the size of the bag being more than I needed, so I know I will always be able to fit whatever I need into this bag. The other thing I really liked was the compartments that are made for clothing. There's actually 3 compartments that are suitable for clothing. I don't think the intention of this bag as an MMA bag meant for these 3 compartments to all be used for clothing, but we have, of course, the compartment for dirty, stinky clothes that need to be able to vent, dry out. It is actually very nice size. I have a size 13 shoe. The shoes themselves, whether it's my weightlifting shoes, my tennis shoes, they kind of barely fit in my former gym bag. They fit very easily into this bag, probably because it's soft-sided, and that allows it to move a lot easier around things that might be larger than intended in certain compartments of this bag. So we have the dirty clothes compartment of this bag. We have the main body of this bag, which is ideally where clean clothes are going to go, because you want to be able to keep your clean things separate from your dirty, obviously. Right now, I'm literally showing you what I take to the gym. I have a changing pad for when my toddler needs a diaper change in the child care section, a snorkel because I'm just learning how to swim, and breathing is very hard for me at this moment, so I like to just have the snorkel and be able to focus on my actual swimming and not my breathing. So I basically just throw maybe my water bottle in here, but this compartment is absolutely huge. On our 6,000 mile trip, I probably had a week's worth of clothes in this compartment alone. Now, my wife can't say the same thing. I can fit my clothes in the summertime into a compartment that small, but same can't be said for our wives, right, guys? So the other compartment that actually comes in really handy for clothes is on the opposite side of the dirty clothes compartment, and it's this little guy here. This looks like a small compartment because the opening is relatively small, but it actually goes back. My hand is halfway down the bag right here, and it is wide enough for my hand to fit in and go all the way back there. And that actually comes in really handy as just another, maybe an overflow for dirty clothes. So if this gets a little bit stuffy, or as I did recently after a day of swimming, I put my swimming stuff in here, and I could put my changing clothes or the clothes I changed out of before swimming into here. So there's essentially 3 compartments that you can use for dirty or clean clothes. I had the pleasure on my trip of bumping into a former UFC fighter. He is called the Big Brazilian Samurai, Yuri Rodriguez. He stopped fighting in 2014, so he's been out of UFC for a little while, but he's opening up his own gym in Yakima, Washington, where I happen to be visiting. So I got to run into him, and I asked him, hey, would you mind just looking at this bag and tell me what you think? There was one thing I did not like about the bag initially, and it is how easy this shoulder pad slides on the strap. I did not like that because every time I pick up the shoulder strap, I'm like, where's the pad? And then I have to bring it up here and put it on. My old gym bag, the strap or the pad stayed in place on the strap. But he actually showed me that when you are a competitive fighter, you're traveling a lot, and you're really using your bag to go in and out of a lot of different places, this is actually a design feature that works really well, because when you're going through tight spaces, you can literally slide this bag forward, back. And of course, I'm slipping a little bit here, but you know what I just realized is wearing a microphone, I'm not able to wear this bag the way he demonstrated it because he had it across his body. And I don't want to grab the microphone and make this video all ruined or damage the microphone. But anyway, when this bag is across your body, it is nice to be able to sling the bag forward or back, and this pad will actually stay in place while the bag slides, or the strap particularly, slides through that pad nice and easily. So sorry I can't demonstrate that on camera because of the microphone, but I promise you, when he put it on and just started slinging that bag around, I realized instantly, that makes sense why you would actually design the pad to be so loose. That does make it easier to navigate around certain areas by being able to sling your bag around. So that one thing that I didn't like actually immediately became it was already a small thing, but I immediately recognized, okay, that serves a good purpose. And I like function. I like things that serve a good function. So one thing he actually pointed out was that this compartment is for your mouth guard. Now, again, kind of like this compartment right below it, that is sort of a surprise compartment. I use my face mask instead of a mouth guard. This is actually a big compartment. This comes all the way back about halfway down the bag. So a couple times this has been a little bit frustrating because of how big this compartment turned out to be. I didn't realize how big it was at first. So I put my face mask in when I'm not using the bag. When I take my face mask out and I put my keys in here, I have come to switch everything out, get my keys, and been like, did I not put my keys in here? But it turns out, especially when I carry the bag a certain way and gravity allows the keys to fall back, the keys were hiding way back here. And so I'm digging through the bag trying to find my keys, and it turns out they're where I thought they were. This compartment is just huge, so they slid out of sight. So when I peeked in here and looked for them, couldn't find them. So this bag might be too big for some of you, but once you get to know the layout of the bag, it instantly becomes a nice thing to have. It's always good to have a little bit more room than you might need. So just in case, you ever have one of those days to the gym where you have to take a little bit extra. So once you recognize that my keys can slide a little bit farther back than plain view of the opening of the compartment, you realize, okay, that's not a big deal. Your Uri was telling me where he would put different things in this bag, and there's probably no point in sharing that with you here, but I can tell you what I have done is I've kind of made a dirty compartment here where I have my lifting straps, my wad and duns. So back to the other side. So I do have a backup face mask, as well as a snack for my toddler for if he is a little grumpy after I pick him up out of the child care at the gym. So you can fit a lot of things into this compartment. This bag holds its shape very well, even though it is a very soft and very flexible bag. Now, don't let the word flexible scare you. This has been through the ringer. It has been in and out of a car many times, and I did not wash this bag before doing this review. Look at this. It still looks brand new, like it did when I got it back in early summer. It has been on the ground. It's been stuffed into the car. You can barely see a little bit of dirt, dust, possible. I don't think that's even wear and tear. This material is very durable. I was very impressed with how clean this bag stayed. You can probably see a little bit of a shine to the material, and I think that gloss on the fibers actually helps it repel dust and dirt. So this bag is going to stay remarkably clean compared to your average bag that you might take to and from the gym. So I've kind of shown you the major compartments. There are a couple other small ones, like this hidden one here above one of the sides. This is a smaller compartment, but I can still fit my whole hand in there like that inside. So that would be a good compartment for keys, wallet, etc. But I kind of like the one that's a little bit easier to access right here that Uri told me is the mouthguard compartment if you're an MMA person. So anyway, this is an outstanding bag. It is currently on their website for $59.99 on sale. It is a phenomenal bag. There's nothing bad I can say about this bag. A few years ago I would have said I don't really like the collapsible bags because you have to dig a little bit farther to find stuff. But like I said, it's nice when you are only taking a certain amount of things to the gym and the bag just kind of falls on itself to take up only that amount of space instead of, like my old bag does, stay fully expanded all the time, and therefore turns into more bulk that you have to turn and compensate for when you're going in and out of doors or past people in a narrow hallway. Okay, that concludes my review of the Elite Sports Warrior Series duffel. This is the size large, and even though they do make other sizes, I do recommend getting the larger size because even if you will never need all the room that this has inside of it, the organization is super nice, being able to just use all the different compartments, and it's just really reassuring to know that if you ever have a certain trip to the gym or across country, that you will be able to fit in things that you might, in that instance, want to be able to fit into the bag. So it's always nice to have a little bit more room than not enough. The organization, the quality of the zippers, the quality of the materials and the workmanship, everything about this bag tells me that Elite is a great company to buy from, so don't hesitate when you're making your next decision on gear to buy for the gym. Thank you so much for watching this review. If you have suggestions of products you would like to see me review, leave them in the comments below and I'll be sure to reach out to the company to see if we can make that happen. In the meantime, hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video and want to see more. And as always, until next time, do what you can today so that you can do what you can't tomorrow.